So, U.S. President Barack Obama has laid out his plan to degrade and ultimately destroy the Islamic State group. And for the first time, Obama provided details on taking the fight from Iraq into Syria. Patty Culhane has this report from Washington, D.C.
My fellow Americans.
Americans overwhelmingly feel the Islamic State group is a threat to the United States. With that backdrop, U.S. President Barack Obama promised action.
Our objective is clear. We will degrade and ultimately destroy ISIL through a comprehensive and sustained counterterrorism strategy.
The goal, total destruction, but he promises to accomplish that with limited U.S. action, mainly through increased airstrikes in Iraq and possibly into Syria, and with the help of a coalition of countries.
It will not involve American combat troops fighting on foreign soil. This counterterrorism campaign will be waged through a steady, relentless effort to take out ISIL wherever they exist using our air power and our support for partners' forces on the ground.
His Secretary of State in Baghdad was less definitive.
Unless, obviously, something very, very dramatic changed.
The U.S. will have about 1,500 troops in Iraq, many there to advise Iraqi and Kurdish fighters. The goal is for those forces to do the fighting on the ground. As for the plan in Syria, White House advisors insist airstrikes there will not help President Bashar al-Assad, that their goal is still to defeat his military. They hope to do that with additional aid and training of the moderate forces, which will take place in Saudi Arabia. The president promising a somewhat painless fight, but some analysts say that comes with risks.
The main risk is that it won't work, that the situation will be seen as getting worse. The Islamic State will extend its hold on more territory. They'll continue their campaign of ruthless brutality against the populations, and the American effort will be seen as ineffective.
With falling poll numbers, the president is under pressure to project strength, to have a plan. He says he has one now, and he's reassuring the country it's one he can win with limited costs to the United States. Patty Culhane, Al Jazeera, Washington.
And for a reaction from Iraq, let's go straight to Imran Khan, who's live for us in the capital, Baghdad. Imran, I know the sun's just come up there and it's early, but how's this likely to be received there?
Well, there's no official reaction so far. Like you say, it's just a little after 7 a.m. in the morning here, but there has been some unofficial reaction. I have to say it's cautious optimism. The Iraqis are welcoming the idea that American air forces will back up their troops when they go in to fight the Islamic State group. That, they say, will be a game changer. The other thing that they are slightly worried about, though, is civilian casualties. They're worried that these airstrikes will hit targets in civilian areas where there are high levels of civilians trapped in by the Islamic State. They're very concerned about that. There's also disappointment that the language wasn't stronger when it came to Syria. President Obama hasn't said there will be airstrikes in Syria. The Prime Minister, Haider al-Abadi, has said, and he did say this, that what the Iraqis cannot do is go into Syria, but the Americans can. So they were looking for much stronger language when it came to Syria. But however, from the people we've spoken to so far, like I say, there is cautious optimism. This will allow them to take the fight to the Islamic State, especially with that US air cover, and that's going to be what they say is a game changer for them.
And Imran, the Islamic State group who are on the receiving end of this plan, is this likely to elicit any kind of reaction from them?
Well, again, there's been no official reaction from the Islamic State, but speaking to various people who support them on social media, the message that we're getting is that, look, we haven't declared war on the US. The beheadings that President Obama mentioned in his speech, they were simply a message. Our fight is to establish the Islamic Caliphate. If the Americans want to come in, then we will also fight them. So defiance from the Islamic State.
Imran Khan live for us in Baghdad. Thank you.